Marcus Langston was not a man who liked to follow the usual rules just because others expected it. He was the new CEO of Langston Technologies, a company known for its rapid growth and cutting-edge ideas. Yet, despite his powerful position, Marcus believed that respect came from actions, not titles. On his very first day in the office, he wanted to show that in his own quiet way. The tall glass building of Langston Technologies gleamed under the morning sun. Employees dressed in their sharp business suits walked briskly through the lobby, some chatting excitedly, others lost in their phones. The usual sounds of a busy company filled the air: footsteps, distant voices, the hum of machines. Marcus entered the building with calm confidence. His dark suit was neat, but he wore no flashy watch or expensive jewelry. His eyes were sharp and full of warmth. He smiled briefly at the receptionist, who looked surprised to see the new CEO walking past the executive elevator. Most CEOs would take the elevator up to their office on the 25th floor. It was faster, easier, and the way things had always been done. But Marcus did something different. He took the stairs. The stairwell was clean and bright. It smelled faintly of fresh paint. Marcus walked up steadily, step by step. His breathing was even. As he climbed, he passed groups of employees who stopped to look at him. Some whispered to each other. Some smiled politely. A few even laughed quietly. "Why is the CEO taking the stairs?" one young woman asked her colleague. "He must be trying to make some kind of statement," her colleague replied with a smirk. In the break room on the 10th floor, a group of managers gathered. They had heard about Marcus's unusual choice already. "Did you see him taking the stairs?" one manager asked. "Yeah, I saw him," another said, shaking his head. "That's not how a CEO should act. It looks like he wants to be one of us or something." A third manager laughed. "Maybe he's trying to save the environment or get some exercise. But it looks funny." Meanwhile, Marcus reached the 25th floor, his new office. He unlocked the door and stepped inside. The office was spacious and filled with light from the large windows. It had a simple desk, a few chairs, and a shelf with books about leadership, science, and history. He sat down and took a deep breath. Today was the start of something new, he thought, not just for him, but for everyone at the company. Over the next few hours, employees began to notice that Marcus continued to take the stairs every day. He never asked for special treatment or used the executive elevator once. His actions puzzled some but inspired others. In the cafeteria during lunch, the conversations about Marcus were mixed. "I don't get it," a junior employee said. "Why would the CEO make himself so ordinary? Doesn't he know he's supposed to be above us?" An older employee smiled. "Maybe that's the point. Maybe he wants to show us that he is one of us, not above us." Another employee added, "I heard he used to grow up in a small town. Maybe he knows what it means to work hard." Despite the chatter, Marcus stayed focused. He used the stairs to greet employees on different floors. He stopped to ask questions, listened carefully to their answers, and took notes. Some were surprised that the CEO knew their names and remembered their projects. One day, while climbing the stairs, Marcus noticed a young man struggling with a heavy box of supplies. Without hesitation, Marcus stepped forward and helped carry it up. The young man looked shocked but grateful. "That was kind of you, sir," he said. Marcus smiled warmly. "We all need a hand sometimes." Word spread quickly. Employees began to see Marcus not just as a distant boss, but as a leader who cared about the small things. The laughter about the stairs started to fade and was replaced by quiet respect. Still, not everyone was convinced. Some senior staff believed that Marcus's style was risky. They thought that without clear authority and traditional symbols of power, the company might lose its edge. They whispered doubts in meetings and questioned his decisions. Marcus knew he would have to prove himself, but he was patient. He believed that true leadership came from example, not fear. As the days passed, Marcus kept walking the stairs. He made it a point to arrive early and leave late, showing dedication. He visited different departments, learning about their challenges and ideas. He never asked for special treatment. Instead, he gave encouragement. One afternoon, Marcus stood by a window overlooking the city. The sun was setting, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. He thought about the future. His future and the company's future. The employees who laughed at him were not just co-workers. They were people with hopes and fears, dreams and doubts. Marcus wanted to build a company where everyone felt valued and respected, where no one felt separated by walls or floors. He smiled softly. This was only the beginning. The next day, the atmosphere in the office changed. Employees watched Marcus walk up the stairs again. This time, some joined him, chatting and laughing. The building felt more alive, and Marcus knew that the real challenge was yet to come. The morning light filled the office as Marcus Langston stepped into the building again. Today, the usual buzz was mixed with curious whispers. Everyone remembered how he had taken the stairs the day before. Some still found it strange. Others watched him with new interest. Marcus smiled to himself. He knew that action spoke louder than words. His choice to take the stairs was not a simple habit. It was a message, though quiet and strong. As he walked past the lobby, he noticed groups of employees gathered, some looking at their phones, others talking in low voices. A few were still laughing, but many were starting to wonder what kind of leader he really was. In the elevator bank, the executive elevator stood silent. The big doors shimmered under the light. Normally, this elevator was reserved for the CEO and senior managers only. It was fast, exclusive, and a symbol of status. Marcus did not enter it. Instead, he headed for the stairs again. On the third floor, Marcus met his assistant, Sophia. She smiled when she saw him. "Good morning, Marcus," she said warmly. "Good morning, Sophia," he replied. "I hope today will be better for everyone." Sophia nodded. She had worked with many leaders, but none like Marcus. His calm and humble approach was different. It was new, and some people found it confusing. Later, Marcus walked to a team meeting on the 6th floor. When he entered the room, the staff looked surprised to see him. Some whispered quietly, "He came by himself." Marcus sat down and listened as the team discussed their projects. He asked thoughtful questions and praised good ideas. The employees felt his respect, and a few even smiled shyly. After the meeting, a young woman named Emma approached him. "Mr. Langston," she said nervously, "I wanted to ask why you take the stairs instead of the elevator." "Most people think it is strange," Marcus smiled kindly. "I believe that everyone in this company should share the same path. Taking the stairs is a small way to show that no one is above anyone else. We all work hard, and we all deserve respect." Emma thought about it for a moment. "That makes sense. It shows you care about us." Marcus nodded. "I do care. I want this company to be a place where everyone feels equal and important." Word spread quickly after that meeting. Employees started talking more openly about Marcus and his unusual style. Some were still doubtful, but many began to feel hope. In the cafeteria, conversations buzzed. "Did you hear what he said to Emma?" one employee asked. "Yes," another replied. "It's different from what I expected. Maybe he will change things here." "But what about the executive elevator?" a third employee said. "Do you think he will keep it?" The answer was, still unknown. Later that afternoon, Marcus met with some senior managers in a glass-walled conference room. The air was tense. The managers were nervous because Marcus's actions challenged the old ways. One manager spoke first. "Marcus, your choice to take the stairs is unusual for a CEO. Some people say it makes you look weak." Marcus listened carefully. He respected their opinions but held firm. "Taking the stairs is not about weakness," he said. "It is about respect and unity. We want to build a culture where every person feels valued. That means no special treatment, just because of a title. Another manager frowned. But what about efficiency? The elevator saves time. Marcus smiled. Time saved is good, but not when it divides us. We can find other ways to be efficient that include everyone. Leadership is not about moving faster alone. It is about moving together. The meeting ended without clear agreement. Some managers left feeling uneasy. Others began to think deeply. Meanwhile, back on the floors, employees noticed small changes. Some started to use the stairs more often. Others tried to speak more openly with their teams. The office felt a little different, lighter. In the evening, Marcus walked the halls quietly. He stopped at a window to look out over the city lights. The skyline was bright and alive, just like the company he wanted to build. His phone buzzed. It was a message from Sophia. Everyone is watching. Some laugh, some doubt, but many are listening. Marcus typed back, "We will change, one step at a time." The next morning, the laughter in the office grew louder. In the elevator lobby, a group of employees joked loudly, "Look, there he goes again, climbing the stairs." A few others joined in, snapping pictures and sharing on social media. The #StairsCEO began to spread. Some posts were funny, others were harsh. Marcus heard about the online chatter but did not respond. He believed actions would speak better than words. Later that day, Marcus held a casual meeting with a small group of young employees. He asked them about their work, their dreams, and what they wanted to see in the company. One of them, a shy man named Carlos, spoke up. "I think it is brave that you walk the stairs. It shows you don't put yourself above us." Marcus nodded. "Thank you, Carlos. I believe leadership is about walking with people, not above them." The young group smiled. They began to see Marcus not just as a boss, but as a leader who listened and cared. That evening, Marcus met again with Sophia. "Do you think they will understand soon?" he asked. Sophia smiled. "They will. Change takes time. But they see, you are genuine. That matters." Marcus felt a quiet strength growing inside him. He was ready for what came next. The morning sun shone brightly through the tall windows of Langston Technologies. The employees arrived with their usual energy, but today something was different. Whispers and curious looks filled the halls. Marcus Langston, the new CEO, was about to change the company in a way no one expected. Marcus stood in the large meeting room on the 25th floor. The room was full of employees from every department. Some looked nervous, others seemed excited. The air was thick with curiosity. Marcus knew this moment was important. He looked around at the faces before him. Men and women, young and old, from many backgrounds, all working together in one place. Marcus felt a deep sense of responsibility. He cleared his throat and began. "Good morning," he said in his calm, steady voice. "I called this meeting because I want to talk about something important, something that will affect all of us." The room grew quiet. All eyes focused on him. "For too long," Marcus continued, "our company has had walls between us. Not just physical walls, but walls of status and privilege. The executive elevator is one of those walls. It separates some from others. It tells us who is above and who is below." Some employees looked surprised. Others whispered among themselves. Marcus waited for silence and then went on. "Starting today," he said, "the executive elevator will be removed. No one will have special access to it anymore. Everyone will use the same stairs or public elevators. This is a step toward fairness and unity." Gasps and murmurs filled the room. Some people looked shocked. Others nodded slowly, understanding the meaning behind Marcus's words. A senior manager raised his hand. "Marcus, are you sure this is a good idea? The elevator saves time for busy executives. Removing it might slow us down." Marcus smiled gently. "I understand that concern, But moving faster alone is not the goal. Moving together as a team is more important. We can find other ways to be efficient. This change is about respect and trust. Another employee spoke up. Will this affect how we work? What if we need quick access to certain floors? Marcus nodded. We will work through those details as a team. This is just the start. But it is a start that shows we all matter equally. The meeting ended with applause, but not everyone clapped. Some employees left feeling uncertain. They wondered what this change would mean for their daily work and for the company's future. Later that day, the first signs of the new rule appeared. The executive elevator was covered with signs saying, "Out of service." The grand doors were locked. No one could use it, no matter their position. Some employees stared at the elevator in disbelief. They had taken it for granted for years. Now it was gone. Marcus walked the halls again. He smiled as he saw employees walking the stairs together. Some helped each other carry bags or coffee. Others laughed and talked more than before. In the cafeteria, conversations buzzed with excitement and questions. "I never thought I would see the day when the CEO takes away the executive elevator," one employee said. "Yeah, it feels strange," another replied. "But I like that we are all equal now." A group of new hires cheered quietly. It shows the company cares about fairness. Meanwhile, the senior managers gathered in a private room. Their faces showed concern and frustration. They had not expected Marcus to take such a bold step so quickly. One manager said, "This will change the power balance. People might stop respecting authority." Another replied, "We need to be careful. The company's success depends on strong leadership." But Marcus's leadership style was not about power. It was about building trust and respect through action. He believed that true authority came from serving others, not from symbols or privileges. As the days passed, the company began to feel different. The removal of the executive elevator created new opportunities. Employees met more often in hallways and on stairs. Ideas were shared freely. Teams worked closer together. Marcus often joined employees on the stairs. He listened to their stories and offered encouragement. He remembered names and details. His presence inspired many. One afternoon, a young engineer named Mia stopped Marcus as he climbed the stairs. "Mr. Langston," she said, "thank you for what you did. It makes me proud to work here." Marcus smiled. "Thank you, Mia. This company belongs to all of us." Outside the building, news of Marcus's decision began to spread. Local newspapers and business blogs wrote about the CEO who removed the executive elevator to promote equality. Some praised his courage, others were skeptical. Social media buzzed with mixed opinions. The hashtag #DocsEqualStairs trended. Employees posted photos of themselves climbing stairs with the CEO. Some posts were funny, others were serious, sharing thoughts about fairness and leadership. Despite the attention, Marcus stayed focused on his goals. He knew that changing culture took time. He did not expect everyone to agree immediately. One evening, as the sun set over the city, Marcus stood alone in his office. He looked out at the lights and thought about the journey ahead. His phone rang. It was Sophia, his assistant. "How are things going?" she asked. "Better than I expected," Marcus replied. "People are starting to see the meaning behind the stairs. The elevator was only a symbol. Now we can build something real." Sophia smiled. "I believe in you." Marcus hung up and looked at the stairs near his office. They were no longer just steps to climb. They were a path to change, a path to unity. He took a deep breath and prepared for tomorrow, because real leadership, Marcus knew, was not about where you stand. It was about how you walk with others. The days passed, and the office at Langston Technologies began to change in small but meaningful ways. The absence of the executive elevator became more than just a physical change. It started to shift how people thought and acted. Marcus Langston watched these changes with quiet satisfaction. He knew that real transformation took time, and patience was part of leadership. One Monday morning, the stairwells were filled with more than just footsteps. Employees greeted each other as they climbed. Conversations started on the landings and continued between floors. Some shared ideas. Others talked about their lives outside of work. The building felt warmer and more alive. Marcus often walked alongside the employees. He listened carefully to what they said. He asked questions and gave encouragement. His presence was a reminder that he was not just the boss, but part of the team. On the 12th floor, a group of engineers gathered by the stairwell, chatting about a new project. When Marcus arrived, they welcomed him warmly. One engineer, Daniel, explained the challenges they faced with a recent design. Marcus nodded thoughtfully. "Have you considered this approach?" he asked, pointing to a simple sketch Daniel had drawn. Daniel's face lit up. "No, I hadn't. That could work. Thank you." The conversation continued as more employees joined. The stairs became a place not only for moving between floors, but also for sharing ideas and building teamwork. Meanwhile, some senior managers still struggled to accept the changes. They worried about efficiency and control. One afternoon, a group of them met in a conference room. "We need to address this," said Olivia, a senior manager. "The removal of the executive elevator has shaken the usual order. Some employees are confused about their roles." Another manager agreed. "If we lose respect for leadership, the company could suffer." Olivia sighed. "But Marcus seems determined. We must find a way to work with him." Despite their concerns, the managers could not deny some positive results. Productivity had not dropped. In fact, some teams were more creative and motivated. The new culture was slowly taking root. One day, Marcus called for a town hall meeting. Employees gathered in the main hall, curious to hear what he would say next. Standing before them, Marcus spoke with his usual calm and clarity. "I want to thank all of you for your openness and effort during this time of change," he began. "We have made a choice to build a company where everyone feels valued. That choice is not easy, but it is right." He paused and looked around the room. "Leadership is not about power or privilege," he continued. "It is about service, respect, and trust. We climb together, and we succeed together." The employees responded with applause. Many faces showed hope and pride. The company was no longer just a workplace. It was becoming a community. Later that afternoon, Marcus visited the break room. He found a group of employees playing a game of cards. They invited him to join, and he accepted with a smile. For a few minutes, the CEO was just Marcus, sharing laughter and stories. After the game, a young woman named Aisha spoke softly. "Thank you for making this place feel like home." Marcus looked at her kindly. "Thank you, Aisha. You all make it special." Outside the building, news about Langston Technologies continued to spread. Business reporters wrote stories about the CEO who chose stairs over elevators. Some called it a bold experiment. Others called it a lesson in humility. Social media was alive with pictures and messages from employees. Many shared how the change had brought them closer. The hashtag #DosherLangstonClimbs trended for several days. Back inside, Marcus met with Sophia to review progress. "How do you feel about the changes so far?" he asked. Sophia smiled. "There are still challenges, but the company is moving in the right direction. People respect you more every day." Marcus nodded. "This is only the beginning. We must keep listening and growing." One evening, as Marcus prepared to leave, a small group of employees approached him. "We want to thank you for changing how we see leadership," said Daniel, the engineer. "Your actions show that respect and kindness can make a difference." Marcus smiled warmly. "Thank you. I believe in all of you. Together, we will build a future we can be proud of." As he walked down the stairs, Marcus felt a sense of peace. The journey was not easy, but it was worth every step. The laughter from the beginning was now replaced by quiet respect and hope. And Marcus knew that the true power of leadership was not in the elevator he removed, but in the steps everyone took together. The change at Langston Technologies was becoming clear to everyone. The removal of the executive elevator was no longer just a topic of gossip. It had become a symbol of a new way to work together. Employees felt it. The company felt it. Even the skeptics could not ignore the growing energy and teamwork in the halls. Marcus Langston watched this change with a quiet smile. He knew the road ahead was still long, but every small step mattered. One morning, as he climbed the stairs alongside a group of engineers, he saw their faces full of ideas and excitement. "Mr. Langston," said Daniel, one of the engineers, "we have been working on a new design that could improve the company's main product. We think it will make a big difference." Marcus looked at the sketches they carried. "This is impressive work," he said. "How can I help you bring it to life?" The engineers exchanged smiles. They had felt more open to sharing ideas since Marcus became CEO. The walls between management and staff were breaking down, and creativity was flowing. Elsewhere in the building, employees talked about how the new culture had changed their daily work. The stairs were no longer a burden. They were a place to meet, to talk, and to connect. Teams gathered there, discussing projects and sharing encouragement. One afternoon, Marcus visited the marketing team. He found them excitedly planning a new campaign. "Marcus," said Sarah, the team leader, "our new approach is inspired by the changes you brought. We want to show the world what makes this company special." Marcus nodded. "That sounds wonderful. Your work will help others understand our values." Meanwhile, some senior managers had accepted the new culture. They saw that respect and kindness were not weaknesses, but strengths. They began to support Marcus's vision more openly. But change was not easy for everyone. A few employees still whispered doubts. They missed the old ways and worried about the future. One day, Marcus held a meeting to address these concerns. He spoke honestly and openly. "I understand that change can be hard," he said, "but I promise you, our goal is to build a company where everyone belongs and can grow. This is not about losing power. It is about sharing it." The room was silent for a moment. Then one by one, people began to nod. The message was clear. They were in this together. Outside the office, the world was taking notice. Langston Technologies became a story of leadership that broke the usual mold. Business leaders asked Marcus to speak at conferences. Young entrepreneurs looked up to him as a role model. Marcus remained humble. He always said, "The credit belongs to the team. Together, we rise." One evening, Marcus attended a company event. Employees from all levels came to celebrate their progress. There was laughter, music, and stories shared. Marcus walked among the crowd, shaking hands and listening to voices. He saw faces glowing with pride. He saw hope shining in their eyes. A young employee approached him nervously. "Mr. Langston, I want to thank you for showing us a better way to lead." Marcus smiled warmly. "Thank you. You inspire me every day." As the event ended, Marcus stepped outside and looked up at the stars. He felt grateful for the journey. The stairs he took on his first day were a simple step, but they started a movement. He knew that leadership was about more than titles or elevators. It was about courage, respect, and walking together toward a better future. And Marcus Langston was ready to lead that way. The company was growing stronger every day. Langston Technologies was no longer just a business. It was becoming a community. The people who worked there felt connected, respected, and motivated. Marcus Langston's decision to remove the executive elevator had changed more than the building's floors. It had changed hearts and minds. One morning, Marcus arrived early, as usual. He walked through the lobby, greeting employees with a warm smile. People nodded back, some stopping to chat. The energy in the air was positive and full of hope. As Marcus climbed the stairs to his office, he noticed a group of new interns struggling to find their way. He stopped and asked, "Do you need help?" One of the interns smiled shyly. "Yes, sir. We are trying to find the engineering department." Marcus nodded. "I will show you. Follow me." As they walked up together, Marcus shared stories about the company's history and values. The interns listened closely, inspired by his passion. When they reached the engineering floor, Marcus introduced them to the team. "These are the people who create the future," he said proudly. Later that day, Marcus held a meeting with department heads. The atmosphere was collaborative. Everyone shared ideas openly. There was no need for formal power plays or special treatment. Marcus led by example, listening more than talking. "Thank you all for your hard work," he said. "Our success is because of each of you." The department heads nodded, their respect for Marcus clear. Outside the building, the news about Langston Technologies spread wider. Other companies began to notice the positive changes. Some even invited Marcus to speak at events about leadership and company culture. At one conference, Marcus shared his story. "True leadership," he said, "is not about privilege or status. It is about humility, respect, and walking with your team." The audience applauded, moved by his words. Back at the office, the employees felt proud. They believed in their work and in each other. The stairs had become a symbol of unity, a reminder that every step forward was taken together. One afternoon, Marcus visited the break room. He found a small group of employees discussing a community project. They wanted the company to help local schools with technology. Marcus smiled. "That is a wonderful idea. How can I help?" The team explained their plans. Marcus promised to support them with resources and time. As the weeks passed, the company launched new programs to give back to the community. Employees volunteered. They taught children about science and technology. The company's spirit reached beyond its walls. One evening, Marcus stood in his office looking out at the city lights. He thought about the journey, the laughter he faced when taking the stairs, the doubts, the challenges. All had led to something greater. His phone rang. It was Sophia. "Marcus, the board wants to meet tomorrow to discuss the company's future." Marcus smiled softly. I'm ready." The next day, the board meeting was full of energy. The members discussed plans for growth and new ideas. Marcus listened and shared his vision. "We will continue to build a company where everyone matters," he said. "Where respect and unity guide us." The board members agreed. They saw the strength in Marcus's leadership and the company's culture. As the meeting ended, Marcus felt hope. The future was bright. Later, he walked down the stairs with Sophia. They talked quietly about the company's next steps. "Change is not easy," Marcus said. "But it is possible when people believe." Sophia nodded. "You have inspired many," Marcus smiled. "We inspire each other." Together, they reached the lobby. Marcus looked back up the stairs. He knew the path ahead would have challenges, but he was ready to face them with his team, because leadership was not about standing above others. It was about walking with them, step by step. The seasons changed, and so did Langston Technologies. The company had grown stronger, closer, and more creative. The walls that once separated leaders and workers had begun to fall. Marcus Langston's choice to take the stairs and remove the executive elevator was no longer a surprise. It was a proud part of the company's story. One bright morning, Marcus stood in the lobby, greeting employees as they arrived. Some stopped to shake his hand. Others offered smiles and waves. The energy was different now, full of respect and hope. Marcus noticed a group of new hires standing nearby, looking nervous and unsure. He walked over to them. "Welcome to Langston Technologies," he said warmly. "I know starting a new job can be hard, but remember, here we work together. Every person matters." The new employees looked relieved and smiled. Marcus led them toward the stairs. "Let me show you the way," he said. "The stairs are more than just steps. They are where ideas grow and friendships begin." As they climbed together, Marcus shared stories of the company's journey. The new employees listened closely, inspired by his words. On the 15th floor, Marcus met with a group of managers. They had come from different backgrounds, but they shared a new understanding. They spoke about teamwork, respect, and how the company's culture had changed. Olivia, one of the senior managers, said, "Marcus, your leadership has changed how we see our work. It is no longer about status or titles. It is about trust and support." Marcus smiled. "Thank you, Olivia. We all have a part to play. Leadership is about lifting others up, not standing above them." The managers nodded, feeling proud to be part of the team. Meanwhile, the engineers were hard at work. Their new designs were improving products, and the company's success was growing. The open culture inspired fresh ideas and bold solutions. One day, Marcus visited the engineering floor and saw a young woman named Mia working late. She was focused and determined. "Hi, Mia," Marcus said softly. "Your work is excellent. How do you stay motivated?" Mia looked up and smiled. "I believe in what we do, and knowing that my ideas matter keeps me going." Marcus nodded. "That is the spirit we need. Together we can do great things." Outside the company, the story of Langston Technologies continued to inspire others. Business leaders talked about Marcus's leadership style. Young people saw hope in his message of equality and respect. Marcus was invited to speak at universities and conferences. His words encouraged others to think differently about leadership. Back at the office, the community spirit was strong. Employees organized events to support local causes. They volunteered their time and skills to help schools and charities. One afternoon, Marcus joined a team teaching children about science. He smiled as the children's faces lit up with curiosity and excitement. "This is why we do what we do," Marcus said softly, "to make a better future." As the years passed, Marcus's vision became a reality. The company was known not only for its success, but for its heart. It was a place where respect, kindness, and teamwork were real. One evening, Marcus stood on the rooftop of the building. The city lights twinkled below like stars. He thought about the journey, from the first step on the stairs to the leader he had become. Sophia joined him, carrying 2 cups of coffee. She smiled and handed him one. "You have come far," she said. Marcus looked out at the city. "We have come far, and the journey continues." Sophia nodded. "The company is stronger because of you." Marcus smiled softly. "The company is stronger because of all of us. Leadership is not about one person. It is about many walking the same path." They stood together in silence, watching the city glow. Marcus felt hope and pride. The laughter that once followed him was gone, replaced by respect and belief. He knew that true leadership came from humility, courage, and the choice to walk with others, not above them. And Marcus Langston was ready to keep walking one step at a time.